Hey guys, my name is Catherine and welcome back to my channel. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you like videos about dyeing, sewing, and upcycling. So normally I make tutorial videos, but today I'm doing a very special vlog style video. I have a few other vlogs too, but this video is about the makeover of my dyeing studio. It's actually more than just the dyeing studio. I have all my art supplies in here. I have sewing supplies, dyeing supplies, quilting supplies, all that kind of stuff. And this video took me a really long time to make, and it took a lot of planning. So I'm really excited to share it with you guys. I'm going to be putting all of the things that I bought and used for organizing down in the description below. So if you want to get any of it, you can go and check it out. This video took me about six months to make, from deciding what I wanted to actually do with this space to getting the things, and I did some furniture refinishing and just organizing and getting rid of things. So it was kind of a long time process, and I'm so excited that it's finally done, or it's done-ish. Everything is always a work in progress around here, but I can finally enjoy my new space. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. It does wonders for my channel. And if you like videos about dyeing, sewing, upcycling, craft room stuff, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So without further ado, let's get started. This is the current situation. I know it's like pretty chaotic and crazy, and it's definitely not using the space the best way possible. I'm going to get a desk for over here, and this is currently my desk that I do all my dyeing on and photo editing, and then I'm going to put the shelf right here. So I got this shelf delivered, and I'm just gonna set it up and then start to put stuff on the shelf.
I got this shelf from Ikea, and it was medium easy to put together once I figured out how all the parts worked. And it's very sturdy because it's metal and it can hold a lot of weight.
Okay, so it's finally assembled. That was a process. And now I can start to put stuff on there. Okay, so I have taken all the stuff off of the shelf and taken all of the shelves out. And I've kept the little hardware pieces together so I don't lose them. And the next step is to paint. Okay, so now I'm in my garage and I've got my piece down here, and it's time to give it a light sand, and I'm going to paint it. So I'm going to get some gloves on and sand it up. I'm not going to sand it too much, just a little bit to kind of get any of the bumps off or the rough parts off. You know, this piece, I've had it for a long time. I got it at a thrift store back in the day. It's been through a lot, and it's not really like the best or the worst piece of furniture. I do like it though because it's really solid, and I know it can hold like hundreds of pounds of stuff. So it's a really solid bookshelf, but I mean, it's in pretty rough shape. So anyway, I'm going to just prep it and then start painting.
I used a medium weight sandpaper on this piece, and there was drips of stain and dirt and all kinds of stuff on it. So I just sanded it, and then I washed it with a washcloth and a tack cloth. After it dried completely, I started to prime, and I'm using a stain covering primer, and I put all the paint that I used down in the description below. It took a long time to get into all the nooks and crannies and make sure that it wasn't dripping and that the paint looked nice and even.
Alright, so I got everything primed, and I'm just going to let it dry before I do the first coat of real paint. I only did the fronts of the shelves. I have to let them dry and then do the other sides. The shelves are probably the most time consuming part. But anyway, it's coming together. Looking good. Okay, so here I've got the first coat of the semi-gloss on, and this stain is really tough, so it's gonna need at least one more coat. I don't know, maybe even another one, we'll see. All right, so the desk arrived today and I'm going to put it together. So it's a lot of pieces. Wish me luck.
This desk came from Overstock.com, and as you can see, it has a lot of parts. It took me a minute to kind of understand the directions, but once I read through them and did a few pieces, it started to make more sense and it wasn't so tricky. So I just put it together and put the top on and scooched it into the corner.
Okay, it's all set up, and now I'm going to start to put stuff on it and kind of organize it more.
Once I got the shelves onto the cabinet, I put a plastic shelf liner just to protect the fresh coat of paint, and I let it dry for a few days before putting anything on it.
All right, you guys, so here is the final reveal of my studio. Well, at least for now. You know, it's always a work in progress, and I am really excited with the way it turned out. This is the first time that I've ever done anything like this, and I am really proud of myself. There's a lot of extra space. I tried to keep it really airy and like go through my things to get rid of things I don't need so that I have more room for things in the future. So first, this is the table that I got on Amazon, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for a long time. So I ended up getting this folding table that collapses, but it looks like a normal table. I really thought it was a nice thing, and I wasn't sure what kind of table I wanted to get for the middle of the room, but I needed some kind of table to do filming on and to make tutorials and to do workshops. So it needs to have this, I have my tripod with my arm on it, and this is just in the middle of the room. I was thinking about getting a standing table, one that you can go up and down, but I didn't really think I would use it that much, like standing. And the idea of having something that's collapsible was a really attractive idea to me, because that way I can use this anywhere in the house, really. I can move it around and I can put it away if I want to do like some quilting on the floor or use more space on the floor. So that's kind of how I decided to get this table. It was like a little bit more expensive than what I wanted to spend, but I just decided to splurge on this one because I feel like it's the kind of thing that I'll be able to use for a really long time. So here's a view of the table with my tripod set up, and there is my Shibori chair that I made. I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but I did a whole video of reupholstering this office chair. It was quite the project. If you are interested, go and check it out. I'll link it down below. Next here I have this bulletin board where I just hang swatches and inspiration. I have like a whiteboard on the bottom in case I want to have like a pop of white in the background for taking photos. And yeah, so I just have all kinds of different dyed swatches. I have ice dyeing, natural dyeing, tea dyeing, indigo dyeing with Shibori, indigo dyeing with glue resist, and then some just sort of fun tie-dye patterns and different inspirations. This is like a doily I made with onion dye. Turned out really pretty. I'm pretty sure I have videos on everything on this board, so if you're interested, go and check out my channel. Over in this corner, I like to use the mat on the bottom here for kneeling and doing things on the floor. I will usually put like a drop cloth down and just sort of keep it covered so it doesn't get really dirty. But I really do like having a little bit of cushion for underneath my knees if I'm kneeling down. So I can set up my ice dyeing on this mat, and I can set up my indigo vat and also my drying rack, anything that I want to just protect the floor. So I'll put like a drop cloth on top of this, and this is on top of my regular floor. But it just keeps it really tidy and comfy if I want to be kneeling down on the floor. Squares are actually made for workout equipment, and I just got the like faux wood finish. You can get them in all kinds of colors if you want to get like black or different colors. They come in that too, but I just decided to get this faux wood finish. It doesn't really match my floor perfectly, but it's good for what I use it for. I'm a big fan of these totes. As you can see, they all are labeled, which is really exciting. I have a label maker that I bought for this project, and I've been going crazy with it, just like labeling everything around the house. It's like my new favorite thing. And it just makes it look so much nicer and tidier, and I've been able to maximize my storage. Believe it or not, of course, I have more stuff in the garage, but this is pretty good, and I think that I can go through it eventually and just like get rid of some stuff if I want to. It's all labeled and pretty organized for now. So here's my desk, and I really wanted something with some storage. And bear in mind, guys, I am just like a normal artist person. This is the cleanest my studio has ever been in my entire life, and we'll see how long it stays. So like I said, I mean, it's kind of a work in progress, but for now, this is like extremely organized for me. I have my serger over here, and I have my sewing machine down here. I have all these boxes. This one is like chargers and like different electronic stuff. I haven't labeled that one yet. And then I have other like office supplies and art supplies in these cute little boxes, so they look really nice and tidy. I have this little caddy here, which I can kind of put like things that I'm working on down in here. These are my computer cases. I have my Pantone books for work, and everything is like pretty organized. I also have my sewing caddy down here just because it kind of fit nicely on this shelf. My pins and my sewing stuff. I've had all this stuff for years. I went to fashion school, and I just like kept a lot of it. And this is like all the stuff I use all the time. I have my T-square. These are for quilting. These are like patterns I've made for quilting. I just use like pieces of cardboard I have. I was really excited about this desk because you can make it go from left to right or right to left depending on your space, and it had a lot of storage compared to a lot of the desks I was looking at. You know, I wanted something that was like durable, and this one seemed to have pretty good ratings, and it was like not horribly expensive compared to all of the furniture out there right now. We moved about 9 months ago, and when we moved, like there was no furniture available. So it took me a while to really figure out what I wanted to buy and where to get it and take measurements and understand how I wanted to organize this space. Before I got this all done, it was just kind of like total mayhem. So if you're like looking to reorganize your studio or your craft room, you know, I mean, I would just say like take it slow, think about it, shop around, look for coupons, you know, like measure everything and put tape up to like visualize the thing that you're going to buy. I did all of that. It took me a really long time to do all of this, but I think it paid off. So next I have my Ikea shelf here, and it's just like a white metal shelf. And you can see I have like all these boxes on it and a tote full of like Shibori scraps that someday I'm going to make a quilt out of. Write a comment down below if you have a lot of projects like that. I'm storing my ice dye supplies up here, and it's just kind of like a catch-all for all my ice dye supplies. You know, all that stuff gets really dirty, so I wanted to keep it in a plastic bin and kind of all together and up top really high. And then I have like various fabric pieces up there. And then I have like filming equipment and different extension cords and my hot plate and lights and tripods and all that fun stuff. Next I have these plastic drawers, and they aren't really that tidy, but they keep things together. I have all kinds of stuff for Shibori and tie-dye, so this is just kind of where I keep all of my different supplies. Everyone's like always asking me for like a studio tour, and you know, it's like really hard because normally the studio is kind of a disaster zone. This is a really fun drawer. This is where I have a lot of dyes and different kits and stuff. So I just try to keep them all together so that it keeps my studio relatively clean. Here's some more dyes. I have quite the collection. Let me know if you guys want to see my dye collection in another video. That could be a fun video. And then I have like various cards and printmaking supplies, and also just like random things. But it's all in a drawer and it's all nice and tidy. Here is my upcoming workshops. This is a flyer I used to use when I would go sell in person. So obviously it's outdated, but I do have more workshops on my website if you guys are interested in taking an online workshop. So this is the closet, and at first I was thinking I would take this door off, but then once you see what's inside, you'll understand why I decided to keep the door on. It's kind of like just like a major, you know, art supply situation. I have everything in here from books and my portfolio. This is like all of my portfolio. I have tons and tons of portfolio for my jobs. And this is where I keep all my Shibori dyeing supplies. This is stuff for shipping and packing. Here's more portfolio up here. This is just like scrapbooking stuff. Like someday I'm gonna scrapbook. Then I got this ironing board and iron rack, which is great. It's fit like right in this little space nicely. I was thinking I didn't need it and I could just like lean my ironing board on the wall, but then it wasn't working. Then I have my screen for ice dyeing and some cutting boards and quilting stuff. Here is my natural dyeing shelf. That's my rag that I use all the time, and my stock pot that I use only for dyeing. I use my spray bottle a lot. Here's some alum that I'm saving. This is alum that's not mixed up, soda ash, all kinds of different chemicals and things like that. Have my cyanotype, what is this called? Cyanotype kit. So this actually has like a shelf life of, I think, of a year. So it's mixed up, but you can use it for like up to a year. So I'm probably gonna do some more cyanotype eventually. Oh, this is my label maker, which I'm like so excited about. And I will put this in the description down below. I'll put everything from my studio in the description down below. Another thing is I just got this new chair for my office. It's really kind of boring, but it's really comfortable, and my husband had one and I was like stealing it from him, so I decided I just need to get one for myself. And I got this floor protector also, just to make sure I don't ruin the floors down here. But it's very like basic and comfortable, and you can sit in it all day and do computer work if you need to, so highly recommend. So that is my craft room video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love watching these kinds of videos on YouTube, and I get so much inspiration from seeing how people organize their stuff in their space, and especially small spaces. It's really inspiring. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and check out my channel for more dyeing tutorials and sewing tutorials and all kinds of fun things. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to go and follow me on social media at Onyx Art Studios, and check out my website for my online dyeing workshops. If you're interested in more tutorials and videos about dyeing, sewing, and upcycling, be sure to check out these videos here. All right, see you guys next time. Bye!